Bitcoin is trading back above $64,000, and that is quite a change from where we were just a week ago when we were under 57. We're actually trading in the 56,000s already. So what is going on? Has the sell in May been cancelled? Do we continue back up to 74,000 and beyond? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you what my thoughts are now on how the charts are looking after this recent weekly close. Spoiler alert, it does look a lot more bullish than it did a week ago. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Dirk. Feel free to subscribe to my channel on YouTube down below and follow my page on Instagram if you are not yet doing so to continue receiving these updates. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below because I do look at them personally and I will respond when I get a chance. Alright, so I'm going to dive straight into what I think is the most important bear bull indicator chart, the 3-day chart with the 50 moving average here in blue. And the reason for that is quite simple. I explained that in the big update that I did on May the 1st. You can go and watch that on my channel if you haven't done so already. And basically, as long as the price of Bitcoin is above the 3-day 50 moving average here in blue, then the higher time frame trend is bullish and we simply remain bullish until that gets invalidated, until we lose this 3-day 50 moving average with 2 consecutive closes below it. So that is at this point in time 55,000. If we get 2 consecutive 3-day closes below 55,000, we might have to reassess whether the bull trend is still in play. Until then though, I have been bullish publicly since January of 2023 when we reclaimed it over here, and I will continue to remain bullish until we lose that 3-day moving average. Now what you can see over here is that we got close to this 3-day 50 moving average in the same way that we did it over here back in January of this year when Bitcoin dropped to about 39,000. It also did not touch the 3-day 50 moving average, and then it went from 39,000 all the way up to 74,000. So massive rally. Similar thing seems to be happening here. Last week we dropped to 56,700-ish, which isn't quite the 3-day 50 moving average. I was hoping for a touch of it for a long entry over there, but it didn't touch it, and we had this big bounce back over the weekend. We're now setting back at 64,000, and this just looks very good. It looks very bullish in my opinion at this point in time. Now what is also interesting to note is if we switch this to the weekly chart, we just had the weekly close because it's Monday now, so the weekly candle closed, and as you can see here with the arrows, right, 3 times over the past year and a half. So you can see what happened in this specific section over here. What happened is we had this wick down below, took the liquidity, moved back up, we closed like that, and then we had a massive pump following that. Okay, similar thing happened over here in January of this year where we had this consolidation period, a wick down below, grabbed the liquidity, closed back up like this with a green wick body, and then massive run up. So now we have had potentially the same thing happen again. We got this green candle wick close, but during the week last week it swept the liquidity, it dropped below all these previous lows, pulled back up, and now we are here looking exactly the same way as what it did these previous 2 times. Now what is interesting to note is that previously in both of these 2 occasions, after we had that weekly close in that same way, we just had non-stop up only, and we didn't actually come back to fill that wick. There were no retests, there were no major pullbacks at all. As you can see over here, it just went straight up and continued higher. Same thing here, straight up and continued higher. So the question is, and something that time will reveal in this next week or 2 ahead, is this what we get? We don't get any pullbacks, we don't get any retests, and we basically just, maybe we drop to 63 or 62, but no serious pullback again below 60k, and just up only and run it back to the previous highs and beyond. Because you can see what happened last time is that it just ended up making new highs every single time. So if this is repeating a 3rd time, then we can be looking for potentially 74,000, which is the high over here, but maybe this time well into 85,000 or higher if this is just a continuation now of this bullish trend. Now the invalidation, of course, would be the previous low and obviously the 3-day 50 moving average that I just pointed out. So 55,000 remains important. Also 60,000 is a nice round number now. Ideally, we don't want to get below there if we even get there. So the strategy for me personally now, until things change, is simply just to long dips. Any pullbacks that we get, I'm looking for longs and continuation higher. And of course, if Bitcoin is going to continue higher here, we can expect Ethereum and other altcoins to also make a recovery and potentially go a lot higher. So that drop over the past couple of weeks, where we've seen altcoins drop 30, 40, 50% or even more, that might just all get completely run back up again in the coming weeks and months. And maybe we are now in a situation where this bull market is just going to continue until the end of the year, just like it did in 2017. If you zoom back out on the charts over here, basically what happened over here in 2017 is it was just one big parabolic move. Instead of a double top cycle like 2020, 2021, you can see over here, we had a bit of a correction here between June and July, kind of trading sideways, but this basically ran up until the end of the year, until the end of December. So maybe we get a similar situation this time around with this cycle. Like I said, as long as the chart, as long as the price is above the 3-day 50 moving average, I'm staying bull and the targets are higher. So maybe this does continue, and it does continue to go parabolic, and it does continue to run up until the end of the year. It is possible. What I like to do, as always, is just take it a week at a time. If the chart looks more bearish, then I change my stance. If it looks more bullish, well, like now, we had this weekly bullish close, and it is looking more bullish. So I'm looking for more upside. I'm looking for trades to the upside, and I'm looking for a bullish continuation. Let's have a quick look at Ethereum, which is back at 3182. And you can see last week it was actually back at 2830. So nice little bounce there. And what I want to show you here, the 3-day chart, again, also the 50 moving average here. You can see here where these green arrows are. It has in multiple occasions held as support in bullish trends, where it drops back to the 3-day 50 moving average and bounces and just continues higher. So we have the situation now again where it literally hit the 3-day 50 moving average in the last week or so, and it has so far bounced. And could we see a situation like this where we are just simply going to continue after a bounce and run it back up? It is completely possible. If we do run back up, I would say that still the target here is the previous cycle all-time high. So the $5,000 level on the next run up. It's completely possible that that becomes the target. And I would like to see us take out this previous high for a bullish market structure break. So that's around $3,700. I think if we reclaim $3,700 on Ethereum, the next likely target becomes 5,000. And yes, maybe already at this point you can argue this might be a bullish market structure break around 3350. The next one, 3,700, and after that, I think the target just becomes the previous cycle high at around 5,000. So it is completely possible that these last few weeks were just a shakeout, a correction in the larger bull trend, which is not yet peaked, and that we do still have multiple weeks, maybe multiple months, maybe till the end of the year of upside ahead of us. The only way to really know that is just take it a week at a time. As long as the high time frame trend remains bullish, like I said, the Bitcoin price above the 3-day 50 moving average, I am staying bullish. I only turn bear once we lose that 3-day 50 moving average. But of course, in the short term, there's bullish and bearish trends within the larger trend. So there is places where you want to be more defensive and take profits when everything gets euphoric and crazy like it did several weeks ago before that correction started. And then there's times where things start to look more bullish, like around about now, where you could consider adding to positions, to spot positions that are down, and are looking for trades to the upside. So to sum it up, I am still bullish. I'm looking for continuation here. Hopefully we run it all the way back up to 74,000 on Bitcoin and beyond. Hopefully we're still going to see Ethereum hit $5,000 in the next couple weeks, maybe next couple months. And as long as the trend is high time frame bullish above the 3-day 50 moving average, I'm bullish, and it's simply a matter of time before this trend continues higher. And we take it a week at a time, and I only flip bearish once we get that bearish invalidation on the charts. So I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment with your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen next? Are we going higher? Are we going lower? I would love to know. See you in the next video.